Mike Seymour from fxguide.com for Wired. It's one thing to create something that is computer generated and looks completely photoreal. It's another when there is literally no reference for that because the character is completely invented. In Game of Thrones Season 3, Pixmondo in Germany were tasked with the problem of producing some realistic flying adolescent dragons. Now, the show has such high production values that the team set out to produce something that was not only cool, but physically plausible. To do this, concept designs were developed that accounted for the adolescent proportions of the dragons, who had actually grown since Season 2. The bigger challenge, though, was making them fly believably. Just how do teenage dragons fly? Clearly there doesn't exist a fire-breathing mammal or some kind of flying winged creature that the team could reference. So they had to set out to work out, for example, the lift-to-wing ratios with digital wind tunnel simulations. They also had to do water simulations and studied a variety of reference material. In fact, they ended up with a mix of an eagle and a bat. The eagle is used more for soaring, gliding motion, and more of a bat kind of motion when the dragons were taking off. This also had to be tempered, of course, with the fact that the dragons are not yet fully grown, so they needed to have a young, kind of energetic and slightly awkward appearance.
The most complicated part was really the animation. That hovering mode was always tricky because it shouldn't look too stable, and so we had to have these wing flaps big enough to keep the body in position, and to find that right amount of speed and wing flap size was very important for us to keep it believable.
The final result is both a fan favourite and something that really sits very well with the immersive world of Game of Thrones. Of course, animation only partly solved the problem. To fully solve it, they had to get very accurate lighting and really interesting interaction between the actors and the digital characters.
So I would say it is a very traditional approach. So they had a staffy on set, so 3 staffies for all the dragons. It was a great help for the actors to have a real puppet creature there standing in front of them to get an idea of how it will look at the end. This was taken out of the frame, and then the shot was done with a tennis ball on a stick, just mimicking what the dragon might do at the end, so to just give an eye line.
The final solution delivered on the realism and the quality of feature film visual effects, but inside the constraints and timescales of episodic television. Well, if you want to learn more about the visual effects secrets behind some of the biggest blockbuster productions, be sure to subscribe. I'm Mike Seymour for Wired.